Mm. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Friday, right? Yes, it's fucking Friday, dude. Would you look at that? Good stuff. We have a lot to talk about today, and I realized that I'm doing the stream like this and not like how I would want to do with the OBS stuff. It's fine. I just forgot. But so many things. So many things. This is the first time I spoke audibly today. So many things to talk about today, guys. So as you guys are rolling in, go ahead and get yourselves a cup of coffee. Relax a little bit. Put your feet up. Smoke them if you got them. And we will get into all of this stuff. Look at this. Look at this. I need to brush my hair, guys. This is ridiculous. What is happening? Anyway. But yeah, there's not a million things to talk about. There's a few things to talk about. Let me see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damn topics today. That is a lot. Mindy, hello. How are you doing today? Caitlin! I sat down by myself at Starbucks today for 45 minutes. I actually read a book. Oh my gosh. Nikki, hello. Caitlin, again, good job. And then it says, that is a ton of topics. Well, I agree. But in actuality, it's 9. We have 9 topics. 9 topics of Cancer. 9 topics of Capricorn. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is going on with my face? I'm more excited that Caitlin was hanging out at Starbucks. What did you read, Caitlin? What book caught your fancy for 45 minutes? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I will do the typical house cleaning stuff. The Black Company. I don't know it. So typical house cleaning stuff. If you haven't yet, if you haven't yet, go over to Slee Ricketts on wherever you listen to podcasts, and listen to the episode that I was on last week, where we talk about all sorts of different things, including beat poetry, Seasons of the Muse. And then I think in that episode we talked about the importance of being a part of a movement or a part of a school, as far as poetry goes. We talked a bit about the San Francisco Renaissance and Lawrence Ferlinghetti. And then I think I mentioned Douglas Blazek like 8 times or whatever. It was fun. Then if you go over to The Secret Show, He'll give you a week free if you want to check it out. You can hear the Secret Show episode we did, where we talked more about art, me going to get my MFA, talking about doing that, and a little bit more of just like, I think I sounded more human in the Secret Show episode. And that's what happened the last time I was on the show too. But the other thing we talked about on the main feed episode was Instagram and the body check culture, which neither one of us have any right to talk about. But we talked about that. So that was interesting, if you will. What is happening there? Good Lord. So that was all a thing. So go check that out. We didn't get to it this week, but next week we're going to be starting the Last Night of the Earth poems on the Bukowski pod. No, the Bukowski book club. So if you want to follow along or read along or whatever, this is a pretty solid book. So if there was a book for you to jump in on and see if you're into that, this one is probably that book. And this will take us about 4 weeks to finish. So it'll give you something to do for a little bit. As far as the Bukowski podcast goes, there will be an episode coming up where I do a Q&A. And if any of you have questions about Bukowski that you wanted answered, or things you heard that you wanted either debunked or confirmed, either leave it in the chat or send me an email to ihatemountwall@gmail.com or bukowskipod@gmail.com. Either one of those checks out. So I'm doing a Q&A episode, and then I'm doing an episode where I read an article and talk about the article. The article I found that I want to talk about is from 2012, and it's about like, do you have to like Bukowski as a person in order to enjoy his work? So I'm really curious how that article goes. I haven't read it yet. I'm like fresh on the thing. Sorry, I got called away. I missed all sorts of stuff. It was pretty, but I'm not going to tell you what it was. Matthew Buckley Smith from Sleep Rickets is going to come on, and we're going to discuss Mathematics in the Breath of the Way, the essay Bukowski wrote on writing. And then there's another guest, but we haven't like nailed it down yet, so I don't want to say who it is, but they have a YouTube channel. They're going to come on and we're going to talk about something. I'm still trying to get them to give me the topic. But yeah, so there's episodes in the pipeline, so that's cool. You'll always want episodes in the pipeline. There is going to be some big news in this live stream. Something that I've been talking about doing, or like things happening. Like, we're going to be talking about something that I've been mentioning for like 10 years. So I don't know how long you've been watching this channel, but even on my old channel before this channel, this was a topic that was coming up quite a lot. And I'm going to talk about that at the end of the live stream. Okay. So now you have to wait. Or if you're watching this in the future, just fast forward to the end. Jokes, don't do that. So some of the other things we're going to be talking about, um, we are going to be talking about how to juggle doing a lot of things, because I don't know if you notice this or not, but I do a lot of things. And like I basically could join a circus with all the juggling I do. But we are going to be talking about how the novel is going, the writing every day. Um, I'm going to answer some more Seasons of the Muse questions because apparently, like, I think well, actually, this will fall into how to juggle a bunch of things. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the forest through the trees uh, series I did. Um, and then we'll talk about a couple of those things. Oh, and then also um, later, and maybe I'll talk to you guys about this. Teach us Ringmaster General. I'm thinking of doing a more intensive kind of coaching, if that makes sense, that would be for a period of time, but like very much in depth and hands on. And I'm still working out the bugs for it. I'm still working out the bugs on it, but I'm thinking that I don't think I could legitimately do more than 5 people at a time if I'm doing that. So that will be something that we talk about in the future, but I'm thinking about doing it September through the holiday. So obviously there will be more on that as we get closer, but it's basically, it would be like daily check-ins with how things are going, building a plan that has like attainable goals, like like how each week, like where you need to be with doing whatever it is you're going to do. Because some people want to write screenplays, some people want to play music, some people want to write books, some people want to write poetry, some people just have a book launch, blah blah blah. So it would be kind of putting that together, and not in a way to make you feel bad for not hitting goals. It would be more you try to hit these goals, and then if something happens and you don't, instead of feeling bad about it, we restructure the plan to come up with a new way for you to hit whatever final target you want. Any kind of marketing kind of thing that you need to do, just like helping you research that kind of stuff to where at the end of everything you feel like that is like, I basically want you to be somewhere else at the end of the whole thing. It's kind of like a boot camp, maybe is a better word for it. I don't know. Something like that. Because the whole thing is that like I wanted to, so Caitlin's interested in that. That's awesome. The whole thing is that I've been wanting to do something more intensive, but more focused on just a couple people. Because I've been doing like the mentorship calls and the coaching for probably, I guess it's been over a year now I've been doing it. And what I see happen is that people will come for like 2 or 3 weeks And then the first time they don't hit a goal, they're out and they feel bad and don't come back. And like that defeats the whole fucking object for trying to do that. Cause like everybody, like plans have to change all the time. You know, they always have to change. That's why, you know, pencils have erasers, and that's why car steering wheels turn, you know, like nothing ever goes to plan. So, like, okay, we'll see in a little bit. It's just like people, as soon as something goes wrong or as soon as something gets hard, like people just bolt and feel like they failed. And when you feel like you failed because things didn't go to plan, like I guess the only thing you succeeded in was giving up. I don't know another way to do that, you know? So if I need to be like your Obi-Wan or your Yoda, you know, let me know. I feel so called out right now. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just saying. But like, it just like, so basically, after doing the mentorship calls for over a year, I think it's actually been like 2 years I've been doing them. But like, there's probably only like one or two people that I could think of off the top of my head that actually like finished the project they were trying to do. And then I helped them launch their book. You know what I'm saying? And like everybody else, like that I've ever had calls with, like they come for a little bit, shit gets hard, and then they fucking bounce. So that just bums me out. So I feel like if it was more of a commitment and like, it's like we have 3 months, we have 2 months, you know, whatever it is. And like, no matter what happens, like I'm gonna like be right there with you and we're gonna fucking do this thing. I feel like that would work a lot better. And what I wanted to do originally was just a month. Because I'm like, why would it take anyone more than a month to do something? We could knock this shit out, you know? But like, people have lives. Like, I don't really have a life other than the shit that I do, you know? So like, that's legit. So like, normal people who have lives and have families and have all this stuff, they probably need like 3 or 4 months. So I'm still working out the bugs on everything, and we're gonna try to see how this goes. But I think it would be good. I think it would be really, really good. So anyway, so that is like more on that to come. Like I'm still trying to piece it together. Um, What else? Oh, I have notes because I'm a grown man who writes notes. Okay, so we talked about this. And we'll come back to all that. We did talk about this and this. Okay, cool. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is I'm working on my blog on mattwallart.com, and I think it's /blog is the address for the blog. Or if you go to mattwallart.com and click the blog, it'll take you to the blog. The posts that are up there right now are pretty like nondescript. They're pretty short. Like one was about the Carter Sexton abstract art show. One's about Seasons of the Muse, and one's about me being on Slee Ricketts. But I've been writing a blog post about the black sand paintings, and it's getting like really involved. So that will be up sometime next week. And then I think I'm going to do a blog on the Mad World paintings. And then I guess I could go right into the forest and the tree, or the forest through the trees thing. I'm going to be putting up the Forest Through the Trees series, which probably has maybe 15 paintings, I think. And the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because of juggling things. And a lot of people, a lot of artists have this feeling that if they do too much stuff, that people are going to get sick of them. Now, let me throw this at you like this. A, that's not really true. But I know where that comes from. So it's not true in the sense that if you have people who like your work, if you have people who are fans of your work, anytime you do anything, they're going to be excited. Okay? They're just going to be excited. If you have people who aren't fans of your work, the lizard's back. Now he's just not doing push-ups anymore. If you have people who aren't fans of your work, who are like, who follow you on social media, or people who just know you, who aren't necessarily fans of your work, those are the people who are going to get annoyed, in air quotes, if you are doing too much stuff. And usually it's because they're going to feel called out that they're not doing more stuff. They see you doing all this shit and they're going to be like, I don't need this person telling me, like, or reminding me what a fucking failure I am. And they're going to get mad and they'll unsubscribe or they'll unfollow you or whatever. But the thing is, they weren't your fans in the first place. They weren't. And like, even if it's like a newsletter, you send out a newsletter and you get a bunch of unsubscribes because you're doing too much stuff. They weren't your people. That was not your tribe. Okay. Now, in my sense of things, I do so many different things, you know, like I write the poetry. I'm working on a novel. I do the paintings. I'm working on some film stuff right now. And I've done a bunch of music stuff. Like, I do a lot of stuff. But when I talk about the poetry stuff, believe it or not everyone is a fan of poetry. Okay. So a lot of people who follow me from back before I was doing poetry so heavily, like, they're kind of not only annoyed, but they've just been waiting patiently, seeing if I'm going to write another fucking novel. People who were fans of the band, like, if they're still around, which they are, because every once in a while someone will leave a comment telling me to, like, when am I going to make that new Creeverson album I was talking about 2 years ago or whatever. So yeah, but they don't necessarily like my books, you know? And then there's people who are into my paintings that, believe it or not, have no idea that I do anything else other than paint, which is fucking weird. And then they find out and they're like, whoa, you do all that stuff? So basically, your audience can be segmented if you do a lot of different things. But the thing is, when you start, and here's the bonus here, if you have a good mailing list and you could segment where the people are coming from, like, I got this person's mailing list at an art show, I got this person's mailing list at a zine fest, then you just like put like all your zine fest stuff in one, or zine or whatever stuff in one newsletter, and then this stuff in that newsletter. And for those of you who feel like you can't put out a lot of stuff because people will get annoyed that you're creating too much, the biggest thing I ever did was a series called Black Star Canyon, which was a serial that came out every week. Okay. And there's going to be more on Black Star in a little bit. But that was the first time I was able to like pay my monthly bills with my writing. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I can do this? And it was just like such a crazy thing. But I was putting stuff out every week. You know what I'm saying? And then with my chapbooks, I was doing chapbooks every month, sometimes twice a month for, was it 3 years? I kept that up every month. And then honestly, like the big reason why that started to fall by the wayside was because I had printer issues and then I was moving and then it was just like, I need to put this on hold. So I'm getting the printer back. And if the printer's working okay, we're going to go back to doing some chapbooks every month. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I was doing the chapbooks every month, that was awesome. And like people dug that. So it's like a thing where if you are letting your audience know that you're a busy beaver and you do all this stuff and it's going to be coming out all the time, like your audience becomes trained that that's what you do. That's how you create. That's how you make the things go. But like with me, like I'm doing the channel. I am doing the Seasons of the Muse crowdfunding campaign, which has like 10 days left. We'll talk about that in a minute. I did the big store launch last month. I did one mentorship call and then my whole life exploded. Watch it on 2-speed to catch up. Yay. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And that's okay. Life explodes and then you pivot. It's fine. Like my life explodes like at least every 3 months. But like we have this right now. I'm writing a novel at the same time, which might not be the smartest thing I've ever done, but I'm doing it. So I have a new series of paintings that I want to put up like next week. I wanted to do it on the 1st, but I just didn't have the time to do it. So there's just tons of little things like that. Oh yeah, speaking of paintings, I will say this because I'm going to keep throwing this out there until it happens. On September 1st, some of the paintings, basically any canvas painting, the prices are going to go up a little bit. Not by a lot, but they're going to go up a little bit because I have to do this thing I'll do a video on it to explain it in more detail. But there are still, I believe, 5 12 by 12 canvas paintings that have the price that I had on them when I started selling the paintings. So it's way less than normal. And on September 1st, those are going to go to the regular price of all the other paintings. So, or canvas paintings by inch or whatever. So if you did want any of those like early canvas paintings of mine, like you should probably do it before September. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so we hit that. The blog, we hit that. Forest through the trees, we hit that. Okay, so let's talk about the novel. So the Eyeball Tongue Cat novel, okay? I didn't get any words in the day before yesterday. And then yesterday I got 1,700 some words. I don't think I posted that video yet. So I'll go back and post that for members. But right now I'm 19,287 words. That was a loud bang. 19,287 words, and I just finished chapter 18. So the book is coming along. I'm definitely on pace to finish it by the end of the month. I think if I keep up the I'm doing. I should finish it in a couple weeks. And if I just have like 2 really heavy days of typing, because through this whole thing, I basically realized that on average, I type between 1,800 and 2,200 words an hour. So if I just sit and go, maybe one day I'll do try to get like 5 hours in and see how that goes. Drink a shit ton of coffee and see how that goes. But yeah, so the novel's going well. Seasons of the Muse crowdfunding campaign, we are at 18%, which is way far away from the goal. Like we have, what would that be? 82% to go. So I need to get that going, and I need to put a lot more umph into it, into the marketing of it. But one of the questions that I got recently is the novel I'm writing the book that we're crowdfunding? And the answer to that is no, obviously. Like Seasons of the Muse is like like poems that document a relationship from beginning to end. If you guys have heard this before, like you're going to probably hear it a lot more the rest of the month. But from the first time I met the person until the time they left, and we never really talked again. So that's what Seasons of the Muse is about. Eyeball Tongue Cat is the novel about what happens right after that. So if you read Seasons of the Muse and then read Eyeball Tongue Cat, it is almost like chronologically like perfect. Like it goes, this ends and then this starts. Eyeball Tongue Cat is about me online dating for the first time ever and trying to figure out what the hell it all is and how weird it is and how I don't want to say how much things have changed, but it was just really fucking weird to go from meeting people in real life to meeting people who aren't real life people, and everything from scams to lunatics to very nice people, and then with all of that happening, it also coincides with, if you were around for this during this time, when a documentary was being made about me, and we were trying to get financing to do a TV show on top of it, and the press was going. There was just a lot of like work things happening, and then I was like trying to put together a tour to do like a bunch of like poetry readings, musical performances, art shows, and like screenings of my movies. So all of that was going on, and like I talk about that because oddly enough, a lot of those things intersect, and that's what Eyeball Tongue Cat is about. And yeah, so that's the difference between Seasons of the Muse and the novel. Do you guys have any other questions about Seasons of the Muse or the novel or anything like that? Oh, but going back to the other thing, we talked about this, I think, in one of the member streams. But I do think I'm going to do a poetry collection of the stuff that ends up not going in the book, like the extra stuff. So there'll be like an Eyeball Tongue Cat poems book, as well as the Eyeball Tongue Cat novel. And then maybe some of the things from the book. I'll go through my poems because I'm sure I wrote some poems about some of that stuff. So that might end up in the poetry book too. We'll see. We'll find out. So that's what's going on with that. And if you haven't, go over to igg.me/@/Seasons of the Muse so you could check out the Seasons of the Muse campaign. And I haven't done it yet, but I need to take those add-on things off and just make those tiers, because that's the only other question people have been having. It's confusing people. And I don't know why it has to be so confusing, but it is. And I'm not saying the people are at fault, like the way Indiegogo does the thing, I don't like it. And I don't even know why I did Indiegogo again, other than the fact that I've done 4 other campaigns on Indiegogo. It's like, that's the only reason why I'm still using it. And then I found out that they just got bought by some gaming crowdfund platform. I don't know. So hopefully it turns the site around. Not that it needs to be turned around, but like the traffic, the organic traffic that I got from Indiegogo on prior things was way stronger than this. So I think Indiegogo is a bit passe now, we'll say. But anyway, moving right along with that shit. I need to take the add-ons off and just make those tiers. So hopefully I will get to that today. Today's already kind of busy, but we're going to get to it in a second here. Okay. So Seasons of the Muse questions, sorted. How the writing is going, sorted. Okay. And that leaves us to the last thing we're going to be talking about today. Mindy's probably like, I cannot believe we've already gone through 8 topics. Okay. So the last but not least thing we're going to be talking about here is, and I'm going to talk way more about this to members in the members stream. I guess we're not doing a member stream today because we're doing this. So this is like a 2-for-1 here. But on Monday, like, we'll get way more into it because I'll also have a lot more information by then. But I know we've talked about this a lot, but the idea of Black Star becoming a series, like a visual show series, is way closer to something that can happen than it's ever been. And if you've been around a long time, you will know that it seems like every year or two, somebody comes out of the woodwork and is like, hey, I'd like to make a show out of Black Star. I don't know why they're suddenly sounding like Sean Connery, but they're like, hey, I'd like to make a show out of Black Star. But they do. So I talked with some people, got some information, and then talked with some other people, and this is so vague, and I'm realizing, wow, I really am needing to talk about this in kind of a secretive way at the minute. Yeah, I'll spill the beans on the member stream on Monday, but yeah, it could really happen. And I spent last night going over the first episode, because if you remember when Black Star was originally released, it was released episodically. And so like each novel, like each season had like 5 episodes in it. And the episodes came out weekly. And I was going through the first episode trying to see like how much I could get out of that, like how much content I could actually get out of those 14 chapters that are in there. And what I realized, and I can't believe I never realized this before, but the first Black Star book is very poorly written, I think. And again, it was like kind of, it wasn't my first novel, but it was like I'd written a couple novels in like 2006 and 2008. Or was it 2006, 2007? Doesn't matter. But then I didn't ever write another novel. And then that wasn't even really a novel. That was more of a serial that I novelized, right? Yeah, I novelized the serial. I did a novelization of the serial, whatever. But what I realized was that the first two novels I wrote, I tried to do this like Kurt Vonnegut style narration. And I think it worked really well in the two books I wrote back in the day. But when I did it with Black Star, it was kind of clunky until like I started to find the legs for it. But then I stopped doing that by the time I got to the second season, and I never did it again. So the first season has this very conversational narrator that's talking to you like they're a part of the story as well, and they know stuff that you don't know, and if you like stick around, you're going to find stuff out. And that was fun, but I don't think it's necessary. And there was a bunch of stuff, like just little things like the show don't tell, you know, like I was just having so much fun being a narrator in a book that I originally wrote as a screenplay in 2001, that I have been toying around with all this stuff for so long that by the time I finally got to write the book in, what was that, 2012, I was just like over the moon. Or was it 2013? I can't remember if it was 2012 or 2013. Doesn't matter. But like by the time I got to writing it, I was just so like geeked out that I was finally playing in this world that I created so long ago, that I was just like, I don't know, a pig in shit, just rolling around on a hot summer day, you know? And like there's a part of me that really wants to go back and rewrite that first book, because I feel like, and the crazy thing is that first book was probably my best-selling book ever. And like on Amazon, I kept taking the book down and repackaging it, and then I changed my name and all this other stuff. So after, I don't know, there's probably been like 5 or 6 versions of the book, and none of them really had any revisions other than like if someone's like, hey, you misspelled a word on page like 102, I would go back and redo it. I tried to read Black Star, but due to some of the issues that you stated, I wasn't able to complete it. Oh no, that's not good. That makes me feel awful, Caitlin. So my question is, should I like go back and like do a revised version of it and clean it up? It won't take me long. Like the stuff that needs changing is like very minimal, but it still kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to me, you know? But again, if I would have kept doing that through all the books, I think it would have been fine. But since I don't do it after, right after like the first, I don't know how many episodes. I don't know if I do it through the whole thing or not. I don't know, but it bothers me. No, don't be sorry. Because the whole thing is, at one point, I was toying with the idea that the narrator would end up being one of the characters in the book, but you don't know that yet. And then I scrapped that idea. And then I think that there was a point where I like, when the third book came out, I was like, oh, no, it was the fourth book. When the fourth book came out, I was like, oh my gosh, That would be so cool if we find out that this person has been the narrator this whole time. That would be awesome. But then I'm like, but I didn't really like put that in motion, and it just would like, I think it would be forced and kind of clunky now. Oh my God. It would just be kind of forced and clunky. So I didn't do it. But I don't know. There's a part of me that really wants to clean that up. There's a part of me, honestly, that wants to take all my novels off of Amazon for I don't know what reason, but just to like take them down. Tried to Gossip Girl his book. Is that what they do in Gossip Girl? I'm sure there's been other things that do that. What did Gossip Girl do to their show, book thing? I don't know what you're talking about. You have to not speak in code. I am not a smart man. I need more help than that. Oh my gosh. This one. Oh. Actually, that's not true. I did do that before. I won't tell you what it was, but there was a I can't remember what it's called. It's bigger than a novella. Wait, is novelette or novella longer? Which one of those is longer? But they never fixed on who it would be, so the fans were mad when it was revealed because it didn't make sense. Oh no. Is it kind of like Desperate Housewives? Or did we find out who that was? Oh wait, no, Desperate Housewives, you know, because it's that girl who died in the first episode. Sorry, spoiler alert for Desperate Housewives. That show's so good. It was good. I will say it was good. And then it stopped being good. Novella is bigger. Okay, so there was a novella I wrote where I don't think it's clear that the narrator even exists in the story. And then when at the very end of the story, you find out that the narrator for the story was this guy's dog, like the main character's dog. And which is kind of cute, but at the same time, it's like horrific what happens to how you find out. So, God, I don't even know how I would ever do that. That would have to be like a big old CG thing. Ugh. Or no, I could just have AI do it now, right? I say, hey, AI, make me a movie. I don't even care what it's about. I wonder if I should ever finish that. I remember a few years ago, I was working on it. I was trying to clean it up. Because that was like one of the first, not one of the first things I ever published, but it was in the first batch of things I put up on Amazon to get in on the whole Kindle Gold Rush thing and try to like cash in. So the book was not very good. I mean, it was good. It just wasn't very well written. But yeah, so anyway, there's a part of me that wants to take all my books down that are fiction and just give them like a revamp, which you should probably do every so often anyway. Like new covers, because the covers that had been on those books didn't work. So, and that was off of us meeting with somebody and them saying like, okay, like you need to like do the tropes of the genre and da, 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 da. But I don't think I write to the tropes of a genre. So I think it was better when I was more of like an outlier in that anyway. And honestly, the first chapter put a lot of people off because of how it was written. It's very short. It's like one page. But that first chapter annoyed people. So then I put the book out again without that chapter in it. And that worked better because I think the second chapter of Black Star is probably one of the best in the first book. Like, just like you're introducing a character, you're introducing a problem. The character is a little charming, but very goofy. And it just all kind of, that chapter was magic. It just made sense. But yeah, like I'm thinking like I should like take everything down and do a whole Black Star revision and have like another launch. The Hank Bradshaw books I could probably leave up. Those ones are pretty solid. I would probably leave those up. The Dead Dame books. Yeah, because the later Black Star books I wouldn't like really do any revisions to. It's just like all that early stuff that I was like trying to crank out before I even really knew what I was doing. Like anything I put out from like 2012 to probably 2014, I would want to like kind of clean up a little bit. Oh, yay. Good. I'm glad you liked those. And you didn't have to say that just to make me feel better. No, but like no, those were just like better written. The Zombie Zero books I think are okay. But like the Shallow Jallow books, the Gavel, the Hitman Black books, the horror stuff I would really have to take down. I just want to take the horror stuff down because I think it's too much. It's too over the top. And those were written before I wrote the Black Star books. Those were written in like, I think because Bloodless Romance was a script that I tried getting made for a couple years and then wrote a book about it. And so the book I think came out in 2006. But I don't think the second one came out until 2008. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was 2008. But yeah, maybe I should take all those down and do like a revamp of some kind. And I think if I'm going to put Black Star out again, I think I'm going to put it out in serialized form again. I don't think I'm going to like try to do the novel thing with it. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. And then I think we were just talking about this the other day, doing like a big hardbound edition of all the Black Star stuff together. That might be interesting still. I like this idea, guys. But as far as the books go and all that Amazon cleanup, that is at least a problem for September. Like I can't be doing that this month. But I can be working on the scripts for the Black Star filming. But yeah, it's been everything. Like I've talked to producers, I've talked to people at studios, like this seems to have legs more than any other time this happened. Because every other time this has happened, it has been more of a producer wanting to make this happen to try to sell it to places. I think I'm going to try to self-finance parts of this, but there are people who want to back it, and there's a distributor, or there's actually multiple distribution streams open for it. So it's just attainable. It's an attainable thing that can happen. Whereas before it was always, this would be great if it happened. We'll see if they could get it off the ground. Now it's like, oh, this is totally doable and feasible and could turn into like something really, really cool. So I'm just really excited. Last night, or actually yesterday afternoon, I was like going 100 miles an hour in my head, like because I was just so over the moon about how this would go. So I'm just really excited. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take all those books down and redo them. Yes, yes, yes. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I might even redo all the artwork because I was gonna just use the original artwork, but I was gonna have to change stuff on it anyway. Huh. I don't know. This is kind of interesting now that I'm thinking about all this. But yeah, so the gavel stuff I'll probably take down for a bit. But see, every time you take stuff down, you lose all your reviews, and it sucks. It's so frustrating. But yeah, I would like to really clean that up for sure. This sounds like another project for you. Yeah, another project. This is how you juggle projects, guys. Do you know how to juggle? You go like this. I don't know how to juggle. Honestly. Dude, stop taking stuff down and just update the listing. Can't be busy enough. Okay, so Nikki's giving me shit right now. No, I used to do that, but I guess you could re-upload the artwork. But with the Black Star stuff, I don't even think I would be losing that many reviews. I would lose some bad reviews, not bad reviews, but like middle of the road reviews where people, because I always thought Black Star was like a mystery thriller kind of thing. But when people who read mysteries read Black Star, they're appalled and they think it's more of like a horror novel. And I don't know if people who like horror like Black Star. I think there's so many different kinds of genres in it because like different characters are like different things. So like there's some like hard-boiled detective shit. There's some like romance shit. There's characters that are more like sci-fi ish type characters. There are um like old legends in the woods, and there's a monster and all this other stuff. So like there's all different kinds of like things in the book, and then it gets kind of like weird spiritual stuff. So yeah, I guess it's just a little fantastical. I mean, the second season of the second novel, one of the main characters um, is dead and is trying to figure out how to like come back home kind of thing. And so like everyone's doing their own thing and then this one character is like trying to, it's just like I guess it is kind of fancy. I don't know. What do you guys think that is? You can upload new artwork. Fine. Yeah. You can keep it up and do a revised edition as well. Oh, now that's getting crazy. Mindy, you've gone too far. That would be me doing multiple books. Well, because if I want to put it out episodically, getting the 5 books that are up there now, would be a little I wouldn't be able to put up Welcome to Black Star Canyon with Amazon's new, they're not new rules, but they enforce them now with their copyright shit. So I wouldn't be able to do, I guess I could do that one as like a email sign up thing. Yeah, I could do that. So much fun, guys. I think I'm going to redo the whole thing, guys. Look at my crazy eyes. I'm totally thinking about it. But yeah, I'm actually just excited that we're going to be filming this finally. So, I mean, shit, I wrote it as a TV pilot in 2001. I think it's time. I think it's time. But anyway, so that's what's going on. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Do you guys have any cool plans that I need to know about? Any big deals happening? Anything at all? All right. Sounds good. But also, if you have any questions for the Bukowski Q&A episode, send those to me. If you have any questions about Seasons of the Muse, send those to me. Oh my God, Caitlin's kids start preschool. Is that why you have time to drink coffee and read a book now? In a week and a half. Oh my gosh, you're so excited. Oh my gosh, you're going to have more time to drink coffee and read books. Working and getting further behind on my word count. With that attitude, you're definitely going to get further behind with your word count. Unbelievable. You need to positive those words up you just said. Nah, 2 were at speech and OT. Nice. Well, there you go. Yeah, you need to say working and slowly but surely getting my book done. Nah, I'm in a shitty mood today. Oh no, is that why you were so harsh with me about taking my books down? Are you lashing out at me? No. Like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? Do you need to talk about it? Do you need to type about it? Do you want to share your personal stuff with? No, I was harsh because it's dumb. Oh my gosh. You're probably right. You're probably right. But I think it needs a refresh. And you're like, just refresh it. No, I want to do the whole thing. I want there to be like 32 books on Amazon with all the same title. Yes. Yes. I'm knackered, overbooked myself with work and getting stressed that I'm not writing as productively as I should be. Okay, well, don't should yourself to death because if you do, you'll end up shitting your pants. So just do what you can do and realize that it's only a week that you're getting behind. You know, like it could be 7 years, but it's not. It's just a week, and it's okay. And now you could just like take a break from it, you know, and watch Coronation Street like a normal person would. You know, maybe you should do that. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, you should do that. I'm 50% behind, basically. Caitlin says I'm 3 years behind. Nikki says, I don't choreograph standards. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You're one of those e-sender people. Gross. Gross. Lame. Oh well. And I bet you watch Made in Chelsea over Towie. Gross. Gross. No, I watch BBC Limited series. Don't you know? I watch neither. And you don't drink tea either. You know that like the king's gonna come and kick you out of the country with all of these weird traits you have. Oh, I'm such a bad English. Like the band, Bad English. I can't remember that song. Doesn't matter. Pretty soon they're going to release my Irish and kick me out. Oh, Yeah, probably. But yeah, so Caitlin's 3 years behind, and that's we got that. We got that. You're all right. And again, like with Black Star, I wrote it in 2001, and then I didn't figure out a way to actually make it happen until like 2013. So that's a bit. So we're going to take care of all this stuff, guys. In about a week and a half, Caitlin is going to have at least a few hours, maybe 2, every day to drink coffee, read a book, and write something. Oh my gosh. Caitlin, you deserve this so much. I know it might not be complete quiet, but it should be good. So we got this. Everything's fine. I'll have more news about that boot camp coaching thing next week. And I should have all the Black Star news by next week. But we're just planting seeds for next year right now, guys. 2026, Unstoppable. Is that the Sia song? Yeah, that's what it is. Wait, no, I don't know if it is. Well, whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. I still have a few kids home, but I'm expecting to be able to do things I want to do. Yep. For a few hours a day. Oh my gosh. If you guys have been in the Anarchy Crew since the Anarchy Crew started, you will know how hard it has been for Caitlin to get anything done. So this is like, are you going to, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but are you going to have like a little party? Like, is there going to be like not to be rude, but like, oh my gosh, I finally get to like follow my dreams. I finally get to do this thing. I put my time in and now I'm here. Like, are you going to do anything like special? You got to do something special. Like, even if it's just like a little cake or something. If you need someone to read through for line edits, I'm happy to do that. I need practice. I'm going to buy expensive creamer because I will have hot coffee. Okay. Nikki, are you talking to me or are you talking to Caitlin? Who are you trying to get practice from? You. Okay. I'll take you up on it. Okay, so here we go, guys. Go off and write your book, write your stuff. Nikki, just write one sentence today. One sentence that you think is good that you're going to put in your thing. You don't even have to get your computer out. Just do it on your phone if you want to, and then you can send it to yourself. One sentence today. Boom. Sorted. And then just relax. Like, take the week off. Do whatever you have to do. And Caitlin, let me know what kind of creamer you get. That's fascinating. Mindy's starting school here pretty soon. So yeah. All right, guys. That was a good chat. Good chat. And I'll talk to you guys later. Okay. See ya. Have a good weekend. Bye. Oh, igg.me/@/seasons of the muse. Bye.